I know a perfect Christmas gift for me. In the 90s at McDonald's, you could get Batman glasses.
You want them?
Like drink glasses that had a handle. There was Batman, Robin, the Riddler, and Two-Face. I had them when I was a kid.
Okay.
I think I'll put them right here in the studio.
The show about life, love, and labor, hosted by the couple that works, plays, and stays together. I'm Kelly, and that guy laughing at me over there is...
Hey, I'm the SP.
Is that how it sounded?
Welcome to the How to Working.
Do you want me to do it again?
No, it's perfect.
Oh, welcome to the How to Working. I shouldn't do that.
You know, let's talk about it. How come you can still... Yeah, why?
I feel like I can still do... I don't know.
Wait, yeah. Why can you do British? Why is it okay to do British or Italian?
You know, I didn't actually feel like I couldn't do other ones. You made fun of me one day and you said, I don't know that that is PC. When I did something on accident. And it's gotten in my head that I think, I got to be careful with the different accents that I do. But this one's safe.
It is.
It's a safe one, bruv.
Wasn't expecting that. Well, we're back in Los Angeles, baby.
Here we are.
After
I'm
days.
walking here. Hey.
Hey.
Sorry.
Well, we weren't in New York, but we were
In Minnesota.
for the not so first time, apparently.
Oh, we haven't even talked about anything.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No,
that's why we
listen.
have the podcast.
We were in Minnesota for the very first time
We don't
out of
know
the
when.
airport.
Yes.
But we had a weird moment on the way back where we realized we've been to this airport before.
Yeah, we hit the Sky Lounge for Delta, and we were
Real quick.
like, ooh, do they all just look similar? Like, I've been in one that looks a lot like this, and that's when we're like, we have been in this one.
Yeah.
We have been to the Minneapolis Delta Sky Lounge. We don't remember when. Sometime within the last year or two, though, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we were in Minnesota, not for me.
For me.
For you.
For Bumble, BNBL booth. Bumble booth.
I think we've been kind of talking / teasing it for the last few weeks. Like we couldn't give all the details because it hadn't happened yet. But now we can give
all the
whole
details.
rundown.
Yeah. I guess I'm giving the rundown. Yeah, we went out there for my photo booth business.
Which is called? Give it a shout out. Give it a plug.
Bumble booth, BMBL booth. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok.
And just a website.
And just my website,
bumblebooth.com.
bumblebooth.com. If you are interested
BNBL
in
booth, yeah.
BNBL, if you're interested in seeing me and what I do, it's on there. But yeah, we got to go out there. We did our Polaroid activation, which is a really fun one. You take pictures on a high quality DSLR camera. So it looks really nice. And you have the digital copies, but then you also print them out and you have them in custom branded Polaroid frames. And this event was for Lumē Deodorant and Mando, which is owned by the same person. The nicest lady you've probably ever met, Shannon.
So kind.
So kind, so
and her
nice.
husband, so kind.
So kind and so nice.
So wonderful.
So yeah, we got to go out and like have a party at their house. This was a unique event because normally I do lots of corporate stuff for sure.
This is technically corporate, but it was
And
definitely
it is corporate,
private.
But what I loved about it is that this was a private event for anyone that had supported them on their journey to create Lumē and Mando.
Yeah, for instance, like their neighbors.
There. Their interior designer of their house.
Their mailman.
Their mailman. Like, and then obviously a bunch of staff and people like that flew in to come to this event as well. Everyone that had made it happen. But it was a really fun event. So we did our booth, but that's not the talk of this, okay? The talk of the town on this. That doesn't make sense. That wasn't the coup de grace. Is that what it is?
No idea what you're getting at.
The best part about this event, here's the deal.
Yes.
You and I do really cool things. I feel really lucky. I think sometimes I'm beginning to see how you can be jaded, and jaded is maybe the wrong word, but
I mean, for me, it's the right word. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, it's no longer exciting for you if you like sit in Comfort Plus or first class. It's no longer exciting for you if you're doing an event
did you sit in Comfort Plus and first class?
I did. We'll talk about that later. But it's no longer exciting for you, if this is a stretch, but if like Kevin Feige is somewhere, because you've already like interviewed him and like introduced him and all that, like you've already done it.
Yeah, I ignored The Rock the other day.
Yeah, on accident. But it takes a lot for you to get excited about stuff where I think I still live in the excitement. I think I will for a long time. But this one you actually did get excited about because this event, I'm just going to get to it, but this event had some really cool people.
Yeah.
So the whole thing was like, they're going to have like this big dinner where they have a bunch of different options for you to eat. And then there's like a big concert that everyone gets to go to at the end. And so the people that you could eat from, I had like the local pizzeria guy who's like really big. Some of the best pizza we've ever had.
Holy moly, it was great.
You can actually ship his pizza to you if you go to his Instagram.
which we don't know any of, so it's weird that we're mentioning
I
it.
actually do know it because he followed me.
He okay. While she's pulling that up, this pizza was insane.
You want to tell him what was on it?
Like they had a pizza oven at the residence that we were at. They were making it in there. It was like wood fire pizza, but they put banana peppers, like finely sliced, I think banana peppers. So every couple bites or like every second bite, you get this, like, it's not hot. It's more of like a tangy kick, and it was great. I think maybe there was some sort of balsamic reduction kind of drizzled on the top.
Yeah.
It was
so good.
Amazing. Probably the best pizza I've ever had. And we've had pizza in Italy.
Yeah.
This was better.
That pizza was good, but not as good as this. So his company is actually called Red Wagon Pizza. He's located in Minnesota, and he has nationwide shipping available at Instagram at Goldbelly. I actually looked into it because I was like, what would it cost to ship 4 of those frozen pizzas here that we can just heat up when we want it to? It is quite expensive. I'm not going to lie. It was like $136 to ship
for
them.
4?
For 4.
That seems
full-size pizzas.
Yeah. Worth it.
But they're so good. Or you can just, I guess, order banana peppers on them. Anyways, but he was there.
Couldn't have been nicer too.
So nice. His daughter Olivia, so nice. But he was there. Bobby Flay was there.
Bobby Flay was there. And
he was interesting.
Put together a menu of like lobster and very fancy things.
Yeah. And then our main squeeze.
Yeah, let's go.
The man that you were so excited about.
Yeah.
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri was there. It was pretty freaking cool. We had set up a Kelly's photo booth activation, and I looked to my left, and there's like a glass door to the main residence. And standing in the glass door, looking out towards us, was Guy Fieri, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's there!"
He was there, and we saw him and talked to him for a little bit, towards the end of the night.
The same way we do with all celebrities.
So nice. What a pro! You know, this event reminded me that there are still some pros out there.
He's one of them for sure.
Yeah, and not to talk crap at anyone because I don't know these people, but there was definitely a contrast. You know, there was a big introduction to introduce Bobby Flay and Guy Fieri, obviously, because they were huge deals to be there. And so Bobby Flay comes up, tells him what his menu is, and then Guy comes up. And it's like, oh my goodness, thank you, Shannon, so much for being here and for being here to celebrate Lumē and all the things that you do. We're so excited to be here. If you see some cameras around, this is why, and then goes and tells this whole thing. But I was like, to know what you're there for and to know the people and to know the product or whatever it is of the person that's paying you to be there, makes a huge difference.
It's huge.
It's very intentional. Yes,
it really
you're a chef,
makes the guest
but
feel
you're a celebrity
special.
chef. Yeah.
And they were shooting Triple D, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives in Minnesota. I don't know which came first. If he was coming out for this event and he's like, bring the crew, we'll shoot. I don't know. But that crew, his actual Triple D crew was there. And I got to meet some of them and chat with them. They were so awesome. Shout out to Amber. Shout out to Shane. Great time with them. But consummate pro. But that wasn't the person / people you were the most excited about.
No, it was not. So I told you there was a concert. And so like the main headliner of this concert was James Taylor, who... I don't look a little bit ahead of my time,
a little before our time,
and or before my time, and that's okay. It's still exciting to be there. I know my grandma was really excited that I was going to be with James Taylor, so that was cool. We got to see him up close and personal the night before. His team was really nice too. Couldn't have been nicer. Been in the industry for a long time. Super nice guy. But I think we told you last week that we had someone drop out last minute due to an injury.
You might need to explain why this was so relevant to you, though, because of your activation.
I made a custom backdrop. I thought we talked about this last week, but I'll go over. I made a custom backdrop for this that was meant. It was John Mayer and James Taylor that were performing, and so we had this idea of making like a custom vinyl backdrop. So it would have their vinyls and records mixed in to like make this really cool backdrop to represent the concert, which was amazing until last Tuesday. Or not last Tuesday, but Tuesday before, where we got a phone call saying that John Mayer had injured himself and was no longer able to perform. And so I had to scrap all of his stuff and
which was like half of it.
Which is half, and wait 2 days to find out who the replacement would be and get approved photos for these people. It's actually 3 days before I could then reprint, rebuild, and ship, which is only 2 days before the event. So it was a really big deal for me. It was the most stressful week I think I've had in a really long time.
Yeah.
All made worth it because the replacement acts, which the first act, I'm not going to lie, I don't know. But his name is Nate Bargatze.
I worked with Nate with DirecTV maybe a year or so ago. They described him as a very impressive up-and-coming stand-up comedian. The dude was on SNL. He's got so many specials. He's a very famous stand-up comedian.
I don't really know him, but cool. But the next performer that they got, for some reason, they replaced John Mayer with 2, probably because you can play a musical set longer than you can play, longer than you do a comedy set. But you may have heard of a little show called Only Murders in the Building.
I have. Isn't that your favorite show?
It is one of my favorite shows. And season 4 just dropped.
When did it
last
drop?
week on Tuesday. Well, Monday night at like 9 p.m., which was perfect for me because I watched Only Murders in the Building, as I landed in Minnesota, only to get to watch Steve Martin and Martin Short on the stage at the Lumē concert perform live. Couldn't be more professional. Couldn't have been a better experience for me. There's not many people that I get excited about. I don't know why, but I told SP, I was like, I almost cried. I definitely laughed. I think I did cry. I laughed. I was just like so excited to see two people that like I really enjoy and that like I really enjoy watching on screen, getting to see them live and getting to see them again. Just, you can just tell that they're good people. I mean, they came out on stage. Thanks, Shannon, right from the stage, had like the product and jokingly used the product on the stage so they knew what it was for and where to use it. I mean, that's just a sign of a professional right there. And boy, it was such a special and sweet experience for me. It was like the one thing all night. I was like, we have to eat and we have to be done. I don't care like what we're doing, but at 8:50, we have to be over there because that's when they start. And we were. Mm-hmm.
Isn't it kind of cool? This is so ego stroking, so forgive me. But isn't it cool that the people that we're drawn to have turned out to be some of like the most professional people?
Yes.
Like for me, it was Guy Fieri and is super pro. For you, it was Steve Martin and Martin Short, total pros. Like above and beyond.
And funny and great.
So funny. In a humor that, you don't really see as much these days as you might imagine. Steve Martin is 79 and Martin Short is 74.
Which is crazy. You would never think that looking at them.
No, they are like so active and crazy on stage. It was a delight. Truly, it's rare that I leave certainly a gig, but even just normal performances that you pay to go see, feeling like blown away and inspired and encouraged to like take pieces that I've learned, like, hey, you can deliver things this way and it will make the audience feel like that. It's so rare that happens. But Steve Martin and Martin Short, it was like every few minutes was a moment like that. And it was joke, and there was no downtime, no dead space, even the little fumbles that happened. Like there was one moment where the prompter wasn't working exactly right.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know that people even realized it. I think it was...
We realized it because we understood that he was calling someone by name and doing that.
Michelle or something.
It could have looked as if he was making a joke.
Yeah. He's like, keep going. But yeah, we know it because we work in live events. But total pros.
Oh, it was so fun.
So cool.
It was so great. There aren't very many moments. Listen, I said it already. I feel very lucky to be able to do what I do. I get to make people smile. They come in my booth. Literally, they smile, they laugh, they have fun. But I also get to be in rooms that people wish they could be in. Totally. And I totally get that and understand that. And I know that I can easily come to a place where I go, this is just normal. And there are times where I go, yeah, it's just normal. It's just totally normal that I'm going to be doing this thing. But this was one of those moments for me that I was like, this was a cool moment that like 50 years from now or however long from now when I'm like sitting around grandchildren, who knows? But like I'll tell this story because it was a cool thing. Or when people say, "What are you?" I don't know.
We love you, Grandma, but we don't know who the hell Steve Martin and Martin Short. They died 50 years before I was alive.
No, but I mean, there are some cool moments. That's a really cool moment for me. Haley and Derek Huff meeting my parents is like one of those moments for me. I know, but I'm just saying, like there are certain moments that I go, "Wow!" Like it's cool to be in the room, or it's cool to be there. And this was one of those. It is a cool thing for me to be able to say that I saw Steve Martin and Martin Short perform live.
Yeah.
I think we're hysterical.
I think I said it to you when we were there. I was like, if you had told me that my life would lead me to Minnesota doing a photo activation with Bobby Flay, Guy Fieri, Steve Martin, and Martin Short, I'd be like, that tracks. No, I'd be like, that so sounds weird. Insane. Like, what kind of weird Mad Lib is that?
Yeah. And I also think like I don't want to take where I'm at for granted. It is a crazy thing to think that 3 years ago, actually September 7th is the day that I left. I'm getting emotional. Is the day that I left my job in 2022. 2022. And we're in 2024. So right?
Mm-hmm. You're coming up on.
I'm coming up on 2
years. Wow.
I guess 2 years. I thought it was longer than that.
No, I'm pretty sure. Because didn't we celebrate the 1 year Bumble anniversary on the show?
We did. But it's just crazy to think that like it's only been 2 years and like I made it in some ways.
I mean, for sure.
But
you make a great living doing what you're doing.
Yeah. And like I said, it's crazy for me to be like, I went from working 8+ hours a day, every day, leaving smelling like chicken and peanut oil, to getting to spend more time with you and our daughter than I ever imagined possible, getting to spend time with my parents and my family whenever I want, and be in some incredible rooms with people. I've met more quote unquote famous people than most people ever will, which is, and not I'm not meaning to be like, I'm so great, but like, it's just a crazy thing when you think about it. I just feel really lucky. And I guess we would be celebrating this because this is the week of my Saturday and I'll be doing another event. But this is the week of my anniversary.
Is it really?
The 7th is Saturday.
So we got the 2-year anniversary. No, 2-year anniversary of Bumble?
2022.
Dang, that's weird because we're in the 2nd year of this podcast.
I always thought we were more farther along than that. That's why I was like, did I really leave?
I always think we're farther along in our life than we are.
But it's just a cool thing. So
it is cool.
That's it.
Well, I'm going to throw one thing out on top of this before we move on from the gig, because it would have been my dad's birthday a few days ago on August 31st. Mm-hmm. And even though I've been in the industry in entertainment for, I don't know, over a decade, there's only been a handful of times when I've done an event where I've thought to myself, oh, my dad would really have liked to know about this or been there or whatever. The first time was when Peyton Manning was the keynote speaker, former, NFL great quarterback. I was like, he would have liked that. The next time was when Derek Jeter was the keynote. He's former MLB New York Yankees. Yeah. But this time I had it with this event. I was like, my dad would have loved being around professional celebrity chefs. He would have loved standing or sitting there listening to comedians that like he came up with as in he was a comedian, but like he grew up watching Steve Martin and Martin Short. Like I was talking to my mom, I think my dad would have been 71 right now. So these guys would have been like same age, like right there in the sweet spot. So I figured since it was his birthday, there's many more stories and many more things I could tell, but I would just give him a shout out. He would have loved to have been there, but also would have been so proud of you, so jealous that you were there. He would have wanted to know all the details, all that kind of stuff. So shout out to my dead dad for his birthday.
New book coming out. I'm just kidding.
Well, truly, if I don't shout him out on his birthday, no one else in the world would. Yeah. So I figure I will, I was going to say Encanto him, but that's not it. I will Coco him, and I will put him on my fireplace in my mind until he fades away forever. Isn't that what that movie's about?
Yes. You about putting their picture on the mantle.
What do they call it, though? A casita?
That's a house.
Sounds like a small house. A casa is a house.
Yeah, but it's your casita. Don't pretend like you know. We don't know.
I don't know. Okay. What were you going to say?
It's so funny. Your mom, since we're talking about your dad, we did sit at your mom's house. You went through, we won't need to get in the details of it because I know we have lots to talk about unless you want to talk about it because it's your dad.
So much show.
But we were talking about hearing your dad's voice. I've never heard your dad's voice before. And he died before the age of iPhones and things like that. So we had an old flip phone. And so your mom pulled out the old flip phone. You plugged it in. You're trying to get to his voicemail. I don't think you ever did.
I got to his voicemail, but not his outgoing message.
Because you have to like have a code and stuff like that to look it up.
I mean, it is a Sprint flip phone.
Yeah, I don't know
it's
how to do
old.
That. But your mom also has like this tub. It's a very small tub, a tub of like anything related to your dad. She was like, I guess this will go to you one day. Because it will. But in that tub, she was kind of like flipping through stuff. And it was interesting because she flipped through a couple of black and white headshot photos of your dad. And I was like, it'd be interesting to have his headshot photo next to your headshot photo.
Maybe this will be the week where I put all the visuals on our Instagram at It's Hardly Working so people who don't watch but just listen can see it. And I would, in that case, at least put his headshot up.
Yeah. But your mom, there's a couple of them. And I was like, wow, good looking man. Lots of hair.
Lots of hair. I hope I keep the hair that he kept. Anyway, that's, I mean, you had a gig on Saturday too. Probably not too much worth mentioning.
Yeah, 2-year-old birthday party. Very sweet, sweet, sweet mom.
Very, very kind. That was the highlight of the whole thing.
Yeah, she was
getting
the
to connect with
Denise.
her.
Yeah.
Very good.
See you in 13 years.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I was like, what are you talking about? Yes, quinceañera. I have a new segment I'd like to
Okay.
propose.
Key.
Now, normally I've got such great names and titles.
But nothing.
Well, the best I had when I put it together was, that happened today?
Sure.
This episode airs on September 4th. Happy September 4th, everybody. Getting that much closer to fall, y'all. Which I recall.
Fall starts, I think, on the 1st of September. It's considered fall.
No way. I don't think so. Look it up while we do it.
You keep talking.
If you recall, this time last year, we were doing a Sprouts versus Trader Joe's fall taste test because yours truly was the Sprouts Fall Festival spokesperson.
That's right. I do remember that.
What a time to have a podcast. But anyway, I was thinking, what else happened on September 4th?
Okay, September 22nd.
Called it
Autumnal equinox.
Autumnal. But I like the way you said it too. What was the word you were doing? Never mind.
Don't make fun of me.
I would never.
Liar.
Never. I started thinking, what else happened on September 4th in years past? So I compiled a list, and you won't believe some as I fall off my chair. That's how excited I am. You ready for a few highlights?
Sure.
First,
Yes.
Thank you. That's the energy I need. 21 years ago, Kelly, in 2003, was the introduction of a new breakfast item at McDonald's called the McGriddle. Do you remember that?
The McGriddle still exists. Do you remember it launching?
Yeah, it launched
21 years ago.
Now, I told this to Shimmy. She didn't even know what a McGriddle was.
McGriddle, that is the one that has the syrup in the...
Yeah, let's explain. It's like a
It's
sausage patty in the center.
Yeah, it's like
and the buns have been injected and infused with maple syrup.
But it's sausage and cheese and egg.
It's possible. I always just got sausage.
Sausage, egg, and cheese. Yeah, sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich, but the buns have maple syrup.
It still exists. Here's what it says. On September 4th, 2003, McDonald's introduced the McGriddle breakfast sandwich to its menu. The sandwich features pancake-like buns with maple syrup flavoring, sausage, egg, and cheese. Good job. Became an instant hit and remains a popular breakfast item.
Yeah, it would have been like 12.
Yeah, I would have been probably end of middle school or beginning of high school. And this is like the sweet spot for me.
I didn't like it.
I
still don't like it.
So pumped, so excited. I got it a few times. I remember I was like, this is the pinnacle of innovation. This is still before ketchup bottles came upside down. Is before the Doritos Locos Taco. So at this point, the glass bottle, stick a knife in it. Yeah. So at this point, it was the pinnacle of food innovation.
Yeah, at this point they had already taken the bagel sandwich off of the menu.
See, I never even knew that existed.
Which is back, baby. It's my faves.
Back in a big bad way in our life.
Oh, it's so good.
But here's the deal. I always felt sick after I ate a McGriddle.
Yeah.
So I never really went back to them. But since I'm realizing that on the internet, you and I have this weird niche of fast food, I had to include it
go and get
there.
it on September 4th and be like, in honor of its 13th
You mean
birthday.
today on September 4th?
Yeah, and post it on our TikTok. Which you can follow us at It's Hardly Working on TikTok.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's hardly working. It's everywhere. Next thing that was introduced, a beverage that you don't particularly care for, but Americans flocked to 42 years ago today. 1982 was the year that Coca-Cola introduced Diet Coke. Bleh. This is the day that Diet Coke was made, and I will be glad in it. I've had so much Diet Coke in my life. Granted, I'm here with the Coke Zero right now.
Because Coke Zero is way better. Diet Coke, I don't know what it is in it, but it does not taste good. I do not like Diet Coke.
I think the answer is aspartame. I think that's what's in it.
Is that allowed to be in it anymore? I feel like that can kill you.
Well, let's look at this bottle right here.
Don't want to know.
Do you want to not know what's in your actual thing?
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Aspartame is in Coke Zero as well.
Yeah, I think that is like the Splenda. I don't think that that's what Diet Coke is. I think it's something different because it tastes weird.
I don't know.
Diet everything tastes weird. Zero stuff tastes good. Diet stuff tastes bad. That's where my line is drawn.
Semantics, but she's right.
It's not.
But all of you Diet Coke drinkers, you have this day in history
to thank.
Next,
Thank you, September 4th. Sorry.
Thanks, September 4th. September 4th will appreciate that. I thought of you because you are a boneless wing girl.
I am a boneless wing gal.
And we are fast food people. Did you know that 11 years
can you
ago?
Not put that title on this.
It is what it is.
I make a lot of food at home too. We just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Like this week when I made a really great, amazing dish, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah, we made it twice, didn't we? Kind of.
Just once.
We'll get there. 11 years ago in 2013, the boneless wing was introduced to the KFC menu?
11 years ago.
Only 11.
Dang.
That
They already had
crazy?
chicken strips. That's great.
I've never been a KFC person. I'm sure I've been there.
Big
but
KFC, big Popeyes people. Not me, but my family.
Yep.
And they always got me chicken tender boxes because I do not like a bucket of chicken.
Well, that
It is not it's not my thing.
but that's the thing, because you don't like bones.
No.
So 11 years ago, you probably weren't still living at home. I don't know. Let's not do the math. But
Carry the one.
you
I would have been
wouldn't-
20.
yeah, well, so your parents wouldn't
21.
be bringing buckets of chicken home for all of the children.
Yeah, well,
Probably
for
not.
me and Ryan.
Who knows?
Calling him out. Sorry.
Next, I've got two more worth talking about, and then I'm going to just hit a bunch of the other ones that were worth mentioning but not digging into.
Got it.
The next one may be exciting for you. 35 years
I
ago,
wasn't even born yet.
I was, because it was
Barely.
1989, the year of my birth. I was born just a few months prior to Walt Disney World opening Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Wow.
Right?
We've been there.
Originally known
It's
as
okay.
Disney MGM Studios.
Glad they didn't stick with that.
Well, I don't know if MGM is a
That's
studio
what I mean.
anymore. Maybe it is. I don't know. Disney's Hollywood Studio opened on September 4th, 1989. The theme park became famous for its attractions celebrating the entertainment industry, including movies, television, and music.
It's like, is that the park that has the rock and roller coaster thing?
I think, yeah. I
That's
think it's the
going
one we
away.
went to first.
Indiana Jones show, Toy Story
That
Land,
was cool.
Minnie and Mickey's Railway, and they also, for
That was
some reason,
cool.
have Star Wars Land in that one. Do you like how I know?
Nerd.
I
Sorry.
went one time.
Wow. Yeah, but you are a Disney person.
The Indiana Jones stage show or stunt show
Pretty awesome.
was great.
Pretty cool.
A 10 out of 10 would recommend. That park in particular, I do not recommend, but for the stage show, 10 out of 10. And Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway is
That
now
was
at
awesome.
Disneyland. So
Yeah,
you can
might as well
go,
go to
and
that.
if you're local, you can go see it there now.
The last one worth mentioning, worth digging into before I hit you with those throwaways, is a sad one.
Okay.
But it's one we couldn't miss.
Okay.
18 years ago in 2006. I know.
Wow.
Long ago enough that this moment in history could vote now. Steve Irwin died.
Aww.
I know.
Aww.
I know, but I had to do it. On a more somber note, September 4th, 2006 marks the day the world lost Steve Irwin, the beloved crocodile hunter,
Thank
which is
goodness.
the wrong name. He should have been like the
crocodile hunter.
crocodile
Saver.
humanitarian.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
you know, that's a weird dream of mine I have is I would go to, I don't know what it's called, but the Steve Irwin Zoo that they have
Yeah.
in Australia. I'd go there.
You
And
literally on the drive
I
here
know, it was
told
like,
me we're never going to
do you
Australia.
Because I'm terrified of spiders. That's all I think about. I was literally, this is just a side note, but I was really thinking about that one video we watched where that lady was like, so I was out here and like the deadliest spider
Oh, yeah.
was on my car. And for some reason I left my car door open and now it's in my car somewhere.
Look,
I was like, how
she sounds stupid.
yeah, but I was like, no. But anyways, thank God for Bindi and Robert Irwin.
Are those the kids?
Yes. And
How
they're
about the
keeping
wife?
I don't remember her name, but thank God for her too.
Thank God for all of them.
But they're keeping the dream alive.
Keeping the dream alive, baby. Wildlife
And
conservationism.
Bindi's married to Chandler. They have a baby. Look how
I'm
much
sorry,
I know.
what?
Yeah, Bindi.
Bindi's married to Chandler?
Yeah, her
From
husband.
Friends?
No, he died.
That's what I was going to say. It's not married anymore.
No. But he's an American, and they fell in love, and they have a baby now. Baby
Wow.
girl. Look
What,
how much I know.
What
So
Hallmark
weird.
movie were you watching that this is from? What
None.
was
I
that?
just like the Irwins.
Oh, that's
And
cute. Who doesn't?
Robert Irwin is just like his dad. It's so fun to watch him, like when he's on like Jimmy Fallon or any of those like late night shows, just like when Steve Irwin was around, like
Yep.
to watch him handle the animals and talk about them like with so much love and passion. Like, oh, look, this guy, he's so great.
They would have
He's a little
killed on
scared.
YouTube.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's all that we're worth digging into, but here's the honorable mentions. Did
Okay.
you know 26 years ago, it was the debut of Google? Can you believe that?
I remember.
Really?
Yeah, I remember when Google wasn't a thing. And the biggest thing about Google was that the thing would change every day
Yeah, I think it still does.
for important days.
Yeah. 52 years ago was the premiere of The Price is Right, which is still happening today.
Crazy.
60 years ago was the launch of, this is for your mom, Ford Motor Company's Mustang.
Wow.
1964 was the introduction of that car.
Car
Facebook
learned how to
became
drive in.
Facebook became open to the public 18 years ago.
That makes sense.
Before you used to have to
Have a MySpace.
no, you had to have a college login.
Yeah.
And now no one uses Facebook except for people who like to shout into the void and stir crap up. So Thanks,
or people
Mark
that have a business
Zuckerberg.
that need to stay connected with groups.
That's true, but Facebook's the worst. 2011, 13 years ago, was the opening of the first In-N-Out Burger in Texas.
Dang, lucky them.
I'm not sure if that was the first
We've
one.
had it forever. Who am I
we've
kidding?
had it forever. The first one outside of California, I don't know. Then the last two, the release of Psycho happened 64 years ago. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. And of course,
Crazy.
a mere 29 years ago was the birth of Beyonce Knowles. She's 29. Don't do the math. She's always 29.
not.
She's 43. But it is her birthday today.
Yeah, I was
so
like-
shout out to Beyonce.
Happy birthday, Queen.
Happy birthday,
Bee.
Queen.
Thanks, September 4th.
Thanks, September 4th. This has been That Happened Today. All
Thanks,
right.
September 4th.
I have no shortage of stories this week. And I know we're over like halfway in the episode.
Okay, pick your top 3 or 4.
Oh, it's such a struggle.
I have a question for you. It's not for now, but it's for before popular opinions that I'm going to ask in my
So you want me to remind you?
questions with Kelly.
Oh, you got a segment this week?
It's something I'm going to introduce. Something new.
Oh. Is it called That Happened Today?
No.
Okay. Well, this
Thanks,
story,
September 4th.
that's
Sorry.
what we should call it. Thanks.
I'm going to say that
whatever
at the
date it
end of
is.
every segment that you do that way.
All right. This one I could not skip over. You give me
Yes.
the crazy eyes, girl. What is that?
I'm focusing.
This one I could not skip over,
Okay.
even if it's just for me and Shim.
Okay.
But real life Krabby Patties and Pineapple Frosties coming to Wendy's for a special SpongeBob occasion.
Is a Krabby Patty made out of crab? Is that why the secret recipe is secret? Because Mr. Krabs is a crab?
Look,
Then will it be made out of crab?
I'm
at
not
Wendy's?
here for your conspiracy theories, but that is one of them for sure.
Yeah, I don't even really watch SpongeBob. Look at me.
Or that it's made out of fish, because what other type of protein are you going to get under the water? And he's feeding these fish, which is kind of
Cannibalism. But is it called
yeah.
cannibalism if you're a fish? Because
think
don't
it's called-
fish eat other fish?
I think it's called fishableism or fishable. That's a stupid joke. But here's the deal. Limited edition Krabby Patties and Pineapple Frosties called Pineapple Under the Sea are going to be at participating locations. And get this. This is the most important part. These locations will be giving out 500 limited edition SpongeBob stickers. The date, put it on your calendar.
September 4th. Just kidding.
Thanks, September 4th. No, October 8th, 2024. Now, Wendy's has not officially confirmed this, but it is looking very likely. So if you're a SpongeBob fan from way back in the day,
September 8th? October 8th.
I may have said September. I'm pretty sure I said October. But that is my big news here that I could not skip. Now we've got all sorts of things that we can skip. What are
ready.
you putting it in the calendar?
Yes.
Girl, it's already in there.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. But I did check to see if I'm in town, and I am. And
Yeah.
we have a Wendy's really close to us.
We do. Brooklyn also has school, so we could drop her off. We could go get it. We could bring one to
Bye,
Shimmy
loser.
at work.
That's true.
And then we could...
But it depends on what time they start serving the Krabby Patties.
But
We'll talk
wait,
about
wait.
this off air.
Wait.
Okay.
So many questions.
Well,
Is the
I
patty
don't
going to
have
be
that
made out
many
of
answers.
crab?
No, they haven't. Like I said, they haven't confirmed it.
Oh.
So it's not going to be made of crab. It's a beef patty.
But what else comes on a Krabby Patty? You know, because there's a song. Is there not?
No, that's McDonald's. It has a song.
SpongeBob doesn't sing a song?
No,
Okay, then what's on a Krabby Patty?
I couldn't tell you for sure. There's
Doesn't
a patty.
he say it really fast? He's like,
No.
Krabby Patty, blah, blah, blah.
Let me see if I have the photo here. No.
I'm not crazy. I do not watch this show very often, but
Well,
I'm
that's
not.
why you're wrong. By the look of it, it's got lettuce, tomatoes, onions, pickles, cheese, a patty, and of course, the secret formula.
Secret formula.
Anyway, that's all the SpongeBob news, but we couldn't go without doing that. Here's a real story. You ready for a real one?
There is a Krabby Patty song.
Oh my God, I'm never going to get you back.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Well
I'm
played.
ready. Thank you.
Colorado man left behind during office retreat survives night on mountain. What was that noise? Mum? So here's what happened. This group of people, this group of coworkers was doing like an office retreat team building exercise
Okay.
where they summit a mountain
Weird.
and then come back.
Okay.
Well, apparently it was something like they broke off into two groups. Like one group did it and then they went to the next place and then another group did it or whatever. And at some point they just left this dude. Like, I don't know if they're like, he's probably with the other group.
He doesn't
or-
have a buddy. He's fine.
and I don't know that they even ever said what this guy's name is in the article.
It's embarrassing to be left behind.
Yeah. He gets left behind. He calls the people in the group after trying to find his way back down the mountain because they had like a trailhead marker, like they left a backpack or something like that.
Of course, but they took it when they went to the mountain.
Yeah, they moved it. But no one was like,
what about Steve?
Yeah, Steve's with somebody, right? No, not Steve.
They're like, it's going to be a funny prank.
So Steve's like trying to get down this mountain, apparently going through big boulders, and I can't even remember what it was called, but I looked it up, and it's like, when you have boulders that have broken down and they're still like a foot long, but they're all like jagged and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a whole path that's just that. It says he fell down at least 20 times, which is
Thank God he
sad.
survived.
Totally. They're like, you got to go back to where we left you and then try to come back. It's because he called him and that's what they said. And like he kept trying to send them his location. No one was like, I'm going to go back and try to help Steve. They're just like, Steve, you got to figure it out. You got to get back up there. And then they like lose contact with Steve for a while because a huge storm comes in. A storm of freezing rain. Which, if you've never experienced frozen rain,
it's not great.
I have when I lived in Oklahoma. It froze my entire car shut. It created an ice cube around the vehicle. You could not open it. You couldn't pull the door handle. It was frozen. And that's what this dude found himself in. He called the police though.
Good.
At like 9 o'clock, I don't remember if it was before or after the storm came in, but he called the police and they sent out a search party. Well, they couldn't find him because the storm made it too dangerous. So he had to spend the night there. And then they said like 9 other neighborhoods from around the area brought in search parties and they eventually found him. And I guess apparently he fell like the last time and had to get like, that's where he stayed because he got injured. They didn't get into the details. But can you imagine?
I would quit my job.
Yeah,
well, after suing for a bunch of money.
I hate all of you.
Yeah, you all left me. This isn't team building.
On
this
a
was
mountain.
Individual building. And I learned I'm going to sue you.
Can you think of anything that is more the opposite of team building than getting left on a mountain in a frozen rainstorm?
It's like he pledged a fraternity and that was like their hazing.
Oh, they're
you can stay behind. It's not really team building, sucker.
So one of the things that there's a big long name for it, like the park people that like find them. They're like, we're encouraging all hikers, reminding them to bring your 10 essentials in your day pack. So this doesn't happen.
10 essentials.
I'm going to tell you what the 10 are, and I want you to tell me if you can only bring 5, what you're bringing.
Okay.
Here's the 10 they listed. Navigation. So I assume that means compass or something,
Okay.
Some of these terms are broad. Sun protection.
Okay.
Insulation.
Is that like a jacket?
I don't know.
Okay.
So far that's out. Illumination. Flashlight. Lantern. Okay. First aid supplies.
Okay.
Fire. It's a little, I don't know how you bring fire. Repair kit and tools.
For what? Okay.
Next up is nutrition. Cliff Bar.
Food. Okay.
Hydration.
Oh God. Okay.
An emergency shelter.
Okay.
If you were going to be stuck out one night.
I have to see the list because I can't remember.
All right, it's right at the top. Head. So you know that you're going to be stranded for one night and you can only bring 5.
Yep.
I think I'm definitely bringing water.
Yeah, water and food. That's already 2 for me.
I mean, do you waste it on food though? Is food, if you're only out there, it's one day, do you need food or do you need a blanket?
I need the food because it's going to keep me warm and it's going to keep
the food's going to keep you warm?
You're going to burn more calories if you're not eating. It's going to eat. So you have to have that.
But it's just one day.
You have to keep your strength up if you want to survive.
All right, so that's 2 then. You've got food and water already. You only have 3 more things you can bring.
I'm assuming that insulation means like jackets and stuff.
Or like a space blanket?
Something like that. So that would be 1 for me because it's going to keep me warm.
You don't have a shelter. You don't have fire. You don't have a light.
I have my phone. My phone has a light. And my phone also has a compass.
Boo.
So I'm just going to say, idiots. Just kidding. I don't feel like I'm going to need sun protection. I can get a little bit sunburn and I'll figure that out. So I don't.
Or you can stay under a tree.
Or in my jacket because it seems like it's going to be cold anyway.
Maybe.
I don't know what a repair kit and tools are.
Yeah. Throw them out.
But I guess I'm going to bring shelter.
You gonna have a tent?
And this is where it gets difficult for me.
You got 1 space left.
Because I think a fire would be important. But if you're asking me what I would bring in this specific instance when you're surrounded by snow, it's probably not fire.
It's not snow though. Just because it's frozen rain doesn't mean it's snow.
I know, but a fire is not going to stay lit in frozen rain.
Fires not gonna stay lit in front. Okay, I'll give you that.
And so if we're doing that, I would probably say first aid supplies, because if I get hurt, what's going to kill me on this mountain?
An infection?
Is if I get hurt in some way, shape, or form.
You think a Band-Aid's gonna help?
No, a first aid kit would include probably better things than that.
Probably.
All right. It sounds like he got hurt and hopefully had a first aid kit, because he would have died if not.
It's interesting. I didn't include this story because it didn't really go anywhere, but like as awkward as it's going to be for this person going to the office again.
It's not as awkward as that one lady.
Oh, we can't talk about that though. That's a personal story, right?
The person who didn't make it and was found at her desk 4 days later.
I thought you were talking about the story we heard about on our drive from the airport from Burbank.
No.
I was like, I don't think we could tell that story. No, there was a lady at Wells Fargo who checked in, like scanned her card on a Friday. Yeah. It was like an office Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
Scanned in on Friday and then was found on Monday or Tuesday.
4 days later.
Dead at her desk. And I mean, no one knew that Carla was over there. No one checked on Carla or whomever it was. Very sad.
Sorry.
Anyway, didn't include that. But there was one quote here from the article. It said, so they not only left this person behind in the first place while they summited, but then his coworkers let him go to the summit alone. Then they moved the rock markers on their way back down. Wow, great team building exercise. Glad he's okay. Hopefully he finds a new job soon.
Is that what they're like the park rangers said?
No, it's some comment on it or something like that.
That is a good comment. And he should quit, but not before he sues.
Yeah, seriously.
Because if it's a team building event, I'm sure they made him go.
Yeah. Well, unless he signs
negligence.
I'm sure he signed something that's like you have to go to arbitration or something.
Whatever. He should still do that because negligence. And all the other people should get fired. The leader, whoever the leader was.
Well, speaking of people who almost didn't make it but did, this next story title is Husband Admits to Adding Cocaine and MDMA to Wife's Coca-Cola in Hopes He Would Marry Her Daughter.
We've read this.
You'd think so. We haven't read this, though.
Yeah, we have.
No, then tell me the story.
Read it again.
Husband admits to adding cocaine and MDMA to wife's Coca-Cola in hopes he would marry her daughter.
Maybe I just read that top part on like something.
Maybe you read it when I handed you the
No. I've
show.
seen this week, so it must have been something.
Really?
I don't think I looked into it.
So apparently this man, he's 71 years old. His name is RUF. I'm going to call him Ruff. It might be Roof. I don't know. It's an Indian name. It says in here. I don't know. Whatever.
He roofies you. It's Roof.
Ooh, a little too spot on. Trigger warning. So it's a weird one where he's married to his wife. And
presumably his age.
Yeah, somewhere around there, I'm sure. Didn't say how old the wife was, I don't think. He's 71. Mm-hmm. And she had a daughter from another marriage. Mm-hmm. That daughter, I think, is 30 or 31. Mm-hmm. And so I guess he fell in love with the daughter who promised to marry him.
No.
Once her mom was, quote, taken care of.
No way.
So the daughter got illegal prescriptions, or not prescriptions, but illegal, obviously, cocaine, MDMA, and benzos in a powdered form. And he, no less than 12 times between September to December, put it in the mom's Coca-Cola at night. And it wasn't until the mom was like, she knew something was up. So she cut open the can and she saw like a white residue. And she had gone to the doctor a few times, like, I don't know why I'm getting these headaches. I don't know why some nights I sleep for 13 hours straight.
What did
like,
the doctor
what's
say?
happening? The doctor said, yeah, you tested positive for cocaine, MDMA, and benzos, which I actually don't know the whole pronunciation of benzo, whatever.
Benzo.
It's in here somewhere, but I read it and I was like, oh, benzodiazepines?
Benzo.
You want to see it?
Yeah, I do, because I can say it. I know I can.
It's right here.
Benzodiazepines. Diazepines.
Whatever it is.
Benzodiazepines.
It's in there. So it gets weirder. And I apologize for the people who don't like hearing stuff like this. So the daughter, who again is like early 30s, the daughter got the drugs.
Yes.
Would have the dad put him in the drink and her mom would fall asleep. And then she would bring a friend over, a girl, and they would like do little strip teases or something or perform sex acts on the dad. And he admitted as well that sometimes he would have to pay them to do those things. But this dude is 71. 71.
He's getting played by his daughter.
He is.
It's like, I'll definitely be with you after my mom is taken care of. Now pay me to be your escort.
That's literally what's happening.
Oh my gosh.
And
Idiot.
so he's the only one being charged with any crime right now.
Good.
Which is no,
She should be
not
charged
good.
too, but he shouldn't have said yes to that.
He shouldn't have.
Okay.
But also, don't take anything from me that you haven't prepared, because I'm learning a lot.
About how to drug me?
Yes. Just in case you,
like,
it's
what?
just in case I feel like you're going to, take all my money or something.
I have all your money.
I know, it's true.
That was a really weird way to say that, but I'm like, I have all the pass. I mean, you have the passwords too, but I know.
You guys heard it here. She already has access to all my money, so if anything happens to me.
Yeah, that's right. I opened a high yield savings account for us so that we could put our money to work.
Always look at the spouse first.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's basically that whole story. Should we talk about Chimp Crazy? Here's what we're going to do.
Yes.
Okay, there's a show on HBO right now, or on Max, called Chimp Crazy. Imagine Tiger King, but with chimpanzees. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it right now, but I'm going to throw it at the end of the episode in case you don't want it spoiled, because we're going to talk about it. So if you want to listen to that, it'll be at the end of the episode. Otherwise, another story is happening right now. Next story is this. This is so stupid. Semi-truck carrying fries crashes in the 5 freeway near downtown Los Angeles. Did you hear this?
When did that happen? September 4th?
August 29th. September 4th.
That's a joke. Sorry.
Took me a second, but I got there.
August
Yes, all lanes
29th.
closed on the southbound 5 freeway near downtown LA, which we could very well have been driving on
I know.
that day. I guess it was the next day. We drove it on Saturday to get to
Yeah.
your gig.
Got
Dang.
lucky.
Because a semi-truck carrying a load of French fries crashed Thursday morning.
Dang. Frozen, I'm sure.
They were frozen.
not yummy.
Police allowed onlookers. What does it say here? Police allowed onlookers to take the spilled fries headed for restaurants such as Burger King and McDonald's, but not those headed for Taco Bell. When asked for comment on this, the LA police chief said those are nacho fries.
Is that what they really said?
But there was no way I
Nacho
wasn't
fries,
doing that joke. I brought that article in purely to do that joke.
I was like, it's weird that they let them take fries.
I love that you went with it, though. You're like, okay, let's see where he goes.
Well, I was like, where are you going with this?
Oh, those are nacho fries. Because they're
Nacho fries.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
It was really good.
Had to. I have a couple more here. One is just a follow-up story, believe it or not. Follow-up story.
First time ever.
I actually don't know if I went back to see if we had done this story, because sometimes there's tons of stories that don't actually make it in the episodes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have talked about
Okay,
this.
well,
Correct me if I'm
let's
wrong.
do
It may be our first follow-up ever.
Okay.
Thief who stole 20 kilogram gorilla statue from Melbourne retirement village admits he made, quote, silly mistake.
I wouldn't call that a silly mistake.
But do you remember that? Do you remember when we talked about, here's what happened. We either talked about this statue getting stolen, or we were talking about something getting stolen, and I brought in like the top 20 weirdest things that have been stolen.
Probably that one.
Of which the monkey was a part of it. The
Probably.
gorilla was a part
I
of
don't
it.
really remember, but it doesn't matter to me.
Look, people
But
like...
I mean, just a little silly mistake.
people.
It's just a little silly. I didn't mean to take that giant statue. It was
Oops.
so silly. Was it a big statue or a small one?
20 kilograms, babe.
So sorry. So
Which
silly.
we all know is convert 20 kilograms into pounds. We all know that.
20 kilograms is equal to about 44.1 pounds.
Okay, not as
Oh.
heavy as I thought.
Measures from calculating
Okay, that's enough.
I
Thank
could
you.
carry that.
Yeah, so could this guy as he loaded it into his truck when he stole it from a retirement village. Apparently, onlookers saw him do it and took a photo and sent it to the police. So he got captured pretty much immediately.
Duh.
The real bummer is he was also either driving with a suspended license or had his license revoked. So he actually is getting bigger penalties now because of this stuff.
Silly mistake.
And he literally, and they went through his phone, and first of all, he says, it was very silly, he told the court. 33-year-old man steals the statue and then texts his friends and said, basically like, no big deal, I just stole a gorilla. So there's text messages, there's video or photo evidence, but justice is being served. They haven't told him what his whatever punishment will be. They're basically like, it shouldn't really be jail time for this, But since you also are like driving without a license, it's actually going to be more severe.
Dang.
So who knows what's going to happen? I guarantee you we will not follow up on that story.
Sorry, go look it up yourself.
I had to fill it in. I had to put it out there right now because, maybe we talked about it before. I've got more stories, but those are all the stories that I did for this week.
All right.
And we're almost at an hour. So this was the moment that I was supposed to remind you.
I already know.
Hit me with it.
Listen, I think that we talk a lot about other people a lot. We talk about ourselves a lot at the top of the podcast, but not about like our interests and stuff. And what are we the most interested in? Well, food.
That's true.
I mean, everyone likes food. So we're talking about food. We've been to enough parties and things now. I was thinking about this the other day as I was going to sleep, and I was like, I should ask him this question. And I'm going to have a new question for you every week on a segment I like to call Kelly's Questions.
Thanks, September 4th.
Thanks, September 4th. But my question today is, what do you, like if we were going to throw a party.
Yeah.
Or if you had to go to a party, but I guess we're throwing a party.
Okay, we're throwing a party.
And we had like tray passed appetizers.
Yeah.
What appetizers would they be? And it could be ones that you've had in the past. It could be a spin on like meals that you've had. You could be like, I want like little In-N-Out sliders, right? It could be whatever you want, but three. You three.
Okay.
And they're appetizers.
But they're appetizers, not like small versions of entrees?
I mean, I think that appetizers are basically, they can be small versions of entrees. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So like it can be.
All right. I'm going to hit you with a few.
Okay.
One comes from your days of catering.
Oh.
Hot fries with a little ketchup in like one of those cones.
That was going to be mine.
Really?
But it's not a cone. It's like in a shot glass thing because it's like fancy.
Oh, fancy fries.
Okay.
So that could be a part of it. Do you remember the figgy balsamic pork tenderloin that we used to make?
Oh, so good.
If we could do that in like a little kind of, not a slider situation, but like an open-faced kind of sandwich sitch.
Okay.
I think that would be fun. You got to have coconut shrimp as a past app. Most weddings for me just turn into a game of how many coconut shrimp can I eat. So that's on there. Gosh, what else would I do at a party? Maybe little quesadilla triangles with like a dollop of guac or sour cream on the top. Just little quesadilla bites. Hey, you have any?
I do.
Tell me.
I haven't thought about it
because I didn't want to
fully.
steal the one that I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah. Listen, I realized the other day I was like, man, I really like grilled cheese in my appetizers. Like truly, like grilled cheese, bisque. If you think about Beauty and Essex, there's grilled cheese and bisque. Like
Bisque is the word you're saying,
bisque.
right?
Yeah. It's like so good.
Yeah.
Like it's good, right? It's
this
amazing.
is literally
It's
the
what
one that I didn't take.
Listen, this was something that Guy Fieri made.
Yep.
And
you say his name very exotically.
Fieri.
Fieri.
You say it Fieri. Guy Fieri.
Hey everybody, I'm Guy Fieri and we're rolling out. I think it's Fieri. He says Fieri.
Fieri. Let's ask him next time we see him.
Oh, I'll just text him.
I'm just kidding. But he made this. It was great. I was really excited about his burgers, but he also had a separate thing that was a grilled cheese with chicken parm on top of it. When I tell you that it was so good.
How good was it, Cal?
It was so good that I came home and we made it. I mean, I made chicken parm, and then I may or may not have made grilled cheeses the next day and put the rest of the chicken parm on top of it.
Let's be honest,
it was
though.
delicious.
Have you ever made chicken parm in our marriage?
No.
No.
But it's
This
good.
wasn't like, oh, I'm just making chicken parm. You subtly or subconsciously,
I wanted
or maybe
it.
just tried to trick me into it because we had the chicken parm.
It was so
and
good.
then you're like, what if, I don't know, we made a grilled cheese.
It was so good.
It was. In fact, it was so good at the party that we shot a video of it too, which may or may not end up on our Instagram. Go check.
It was
it's
really
hardly
good.
working.
But I would make that into little bite size. So like little small triangle grilled cheese bites with some chicken parm on top with some mozzarella. I mean, that would be perfect. So good.
Perfection.
But I would do that.
Yes.
I would do the French fries. But you could have a choice between ranch or ketchup. That would be like my.
There's no choice. It's ketchup.
I mean, it's just ketchup. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Who dips their fries only in ranch?
I do.
Only in ranch with no ketchup, or do you go back and forth?
Sometimes it depends on my mood. Mostly I go back and forth, but sometimes I just do the ranch. Depends on how
So
good.
if you're feeling depressed and angry, you'll just do ranch?
No, it depends on how good the ranch is. Buttermilk ranch is better than any normal type of ranch.
Do you know how British people say that?
Buttermilk.
Oh, I meant ranch, you crazy.
Ranch. They can't say it because it's
I was
a
thinking though,
ranch.
is there any thing in their dialect
Buttermilk ranch.
that has that sound, like ranch?
No, that's an us thing. Ranch.
They don't have a single word that has an in it. We have
How
apple.
do they say
Do they call apple?
Apple.
An
Can we get an
apple.
apple? An apple. I don't. Apple.
Accordion.
As
Bring me the accordion.
I need to know that as I'm doing the accent, there's something in my brain that happens where I can't like get out of it to do something different, but I cannot say apple. That's how I would say it. It's not right.
Opal.
Apple.
Banana.
But it's not the problem with apple is that it's not
banana.
It's not in it. It's not like ranch is like after the R, and so it's like a ra.
How would
instead of ranch.
How would a British person
Apple.
say, "Oh my God, there's a rat"?
Oh my God, there's a little bugger over there. Do you see that rot?
You changed the whole word.
See that rot?
A little bugger?
Because they probably don't call it a rat. They probably call it something else. A mouse. There's a little mouse over there.
Crikey, there's a rot. Oh, they wouldn't say crikey.
Crikey. Yeah, I was like,
Blooming onion. No, that's still
No,
Australian.
but I don't know that they do. I think they have different things. They have different words.
No,
They're
because in Harry
lazy.
Potter, Scabbers is a
Rat. Right, Ron?
I'm Ron
Scabbers?
Weasley, and this is my rat Scabbers.
They don't say rat.
How do they say
Ratchet.
rapscallion?
They don't.
How do they say rap music? Rop. I love rap and hip hop.
They probably call it something other than rap.
Why is that your answer for everything? You're like, they
Because
don't have the long
weird
answer. They
words
just
for
changed the whole
things.
word.
They have weird words for things. Anywho, to get back to my side.
Whatever. Tell me about your appetizers. Tell me about your appetizers.
My ops. My appetizers.
Tell me about your ops.
I truly the last one would be some sort of like taco.
Crispy or soft? Like a little Jack in the Box mini taco?
But not Jack in the Box because I don't.
Sorry, guys. We're not
Unpop a
Jack in-
pin.
Yeah.
I don't really like Jack in the Box tacos.
It's true. Me either. Someone on TikTok, though, was scolding me, and they're like, you need to do it at midnight.
It would be.
All of TikTok just scolds me.
My brain is really processing through this right now.
I can tell.
It would be like a little taquito, but better than your taquitos, like a chicken taquito with cheese in it. And then it would be dipped in a little thing that had queso
I think it'd be,
or guac.
But also the chicken in there would be marinated in tequila, and it'd be called like a
Tequila.
tequilo. Tequito.
Tiki taco.
Tequiti taco.
But also,
It'd
this
be called a
isn't-
ranch taco.
Listen, I'm going to add this appetizer in, although I think it would probably be something after, but I think this should be at the top because I think it's fun. I would do boozy milkshake shots.
Do it at the end.
No, but
Half of your appetizer is just the menu from Beauty and Essex.
no.
Yes.
No.
The boozy milkshake shot? Yes.
They didn't invent it.
The chicken or the bisque with.
I didn't do the bisque.
That's how you started the whole
But
segment.
I said because I like grilled cheeses.
How do you think Brits say grilled cheeses?
Exactly that way, grilled cheese. It's not what they call it. They call it something different. You think I'm kidding?
They call it a floppy melt,
No.
a flappy patty, a flognog,
Keep going.
a jibbity wibbit, a scallywag, a morning glory, a pampers, a bimbot,
Oh. A toasty.
a
cheese toasty.
Look, everything I just said
I knew
was
there was a
good
different
enough.
name for it. They called it a cheese toasty. Can I get a cheese toasty? A toasty? That's what I want.
Wow.
I miss London.
What a day. I miss London too.
Let's go. Let's plan a trip. Happy birthday to me. Birthday,
Happy
bruv.
birthday, bruv.
Happy
Gov.
birthday, bruv.
We always do these things on this episode, on this show. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I want to take back some of my appetizers. I just don't have a better. Listen,
Do it on your own show.
no, I don't have better options right now, but I will report back. But the grilled cheese with the chicken parm on top is like top.
Here, enjoy some of that. You know what we do on this show every single episode?
Unpop pins.
Unpop pins on our toasty wagons, whatever the Brits say.
Have
We
a little
probably have like
argy-bargy.
one British listener who's like, "Oi, that don't sound like me at all."
That's not how they sound.
They do if they're Cockney British.
No, yeah, but I think they're going to think that my accent's actually pretty good.
You think everyone's Emma Watson?
No, but I'm not talking like Emma Watson.
I think we've said this on the show, but whenever you do your British accent,
I know I come across as a little bit bitchy. I understand.
you're talking down to people.
I'm not talking down to people. You see, it's just how they talk sometimes. It's very blunt and straightforward and to the point, and that is something that I know about London people, and that's okay. They can still be nice, but they're like New Yorkers, where they don't always come across as nice, even if they are being nice. Mostly because you can't understand all their words, but.
Well, can't argue with that. What I can do is give you some unpoppa pins that literally are designed for you, Kelly.
I'm ready.
Okay. The first one. The Human Centipede is actually a good movie.
No.
Yep, it is.
No. It is a good movie if the job is to scare somebody to never wanting to see the movie ever again, then yes. I haven't even seen the movie, but the nightmares I had from this movie.
Give the context for what happened. Which brother showed you what part of this movie?
Nobody showed me any part of this movie.
I thought you said they did.
No, Ryan made me watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Is that your British massacre? Massacre. It's more French than anything.
Listen, I heard about if I have nightmares tonight. By the way, you need to understand that it's your fault. I love you so much.
I will be so distraught.
I heard about this show from a friend, and I distinctly remember I was sitting at a Chick-fil-A. Movie. I was sitting at a Chick-fil-A in Valencia with my friends late night after that 1 year that I was in college.
She was really smart. She did it all in 1 year.
Shut it. And they told me about this movie, and the idea of it really freaked me out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I truly would wake up having nightmares and cried because there was something about it that was so scary. And then they came out with the second one that was like, instead of 3 people, it was like 12 or whatever, or 100, whatever it was, which I never saw. I never saw either of these. But what ended up happening to me is that whatever I was thinking about in my head, the idea of it in my head was like way worse. And once I finally actually watched like a piece of it and saw what it was, I actually felt better.
Oh, well, that's good. When did you see what it was? Because you didn't
years
look
after.
it up. Somebody had to show you.
No,
because I know how you work. You're not going to open Pandora's box on your own. Someone is going to offer you an opportunity.
What I think actually happened, and
I
weird.
bet it was Ryan or Sean.
What was very distinctive. This is funny because it was like years that I was really scared of this, and I think I was doing something, hanging out with Ryan for sure. But we watched there's like a Family Guy spoof of this.
This is a British word for spoof. Yeah.
I don't know. A spoof of this where they do like the Human Centipede on Family Guy.
Yeah, that
and
makes
I saw
sense.
that.
They always do cutaways.
I was watching that with Ryan, and I think I said something like, "It's really scary." He's like, "Have you ever seen it?" And I said, "No." And he's like, and I think he was asking, like, you know him. He's like, "Well, what do you think? What do you think it is? Or what do you think it looks like?" And I think I was telling him about it. And he's like, "You should just watch a piece of it because it's not that." He didn't show me. I did look it up because I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. Seeing the Family Guy thing made me feel like, oh, maybe it is. I mean, it was supposed to be funny. But then actually seeing like a real clip of it was. But I truly think that it is one of the worst. And when I say worst, I don't mean like it was so bad, but like the worst scary movie I've ever heard about.
I'll throw this out here for anyone who grew up at the same time I did. The worst scary movie that I hated watching, but went to the theaters to see anyway, was a movie called Hostel. So if you've seen Hostel,
I never saw that.
Shout out to you.
It did scare me though.
Not cool.
Like I'll never stay in a hostel because of it.
Oh, you were never going to stay there anyway, baby.
Thanks, babe.
I know you. If you're not familiar with the Human Centipede, and this is the part where Mom, stop reading because it's gross. The premise of the Human Centipede as a horror film.
And Mom and Dad, stop listening. Just skip 15 seconds.
Is that they would sew people mouth to sphincter and feed them. And as it went through the first person, and it would go through the body like a centipede, a la the Human Centipede. I have not seen it. Kelly is off camera, probably freaking out right now.
Yeah, I've never, like I said, seen this movie in its entirety. It is, if you wanted to torture me, you would just put this movie on.
It's so bad that Kelly has to massage her earlobes while thinking about it. But what this guy wrote might convince you the opposite.
No, listen,
yeah,
if it's meant to scare you, because that's what a scary movie does, then yeah, it is a good scary movie. Like, which I'm sure is what this person is saying.
Let me explain. Here's what they said. I was curious to watch it because everyone has been saying how disgusting and gruesome it is. So I wanted to see for myself, and I watched both the first and original movie as well as the second one. The beginning wasn't that interesting, but I realized that as the movie was going on, it kept me on the edge as to what was going to happen next. The suspense was great. It didn't bore me at all, and I loved the fact that it was so unpredictable, and full of twists. So yeah, might have been twisted, gruesome, and unusual, but overall, I feel like it's not that bad of a movie, as it's full of suspense and plot twists. Any opportunity given, I'd watch it again. You can't know unless you see it for yourself. Also, the second movie was terrible, not worth it at all. IMDb rating, 4.4 out of 10. My rating, 8.10 8 out of 10. Did that convince you?
No.
Here's what I was thinking, though, as I was reading this earlier this week. The things that are so outrageous, and everyone's like, why would you do that? Seems to work out for people. Remember Lady Gaga wore a meat dress to an award show?
Yeah.
And we're like, what a freak. Now she's an icon. Remember when Miley Cyrus twerked up against Beetlejuice version of Robin Thicke at the VMAs and she went through her whole phase where she's like, I'm so crazy. And now cut to a month ago when I was there as they inducted her into the Disney Hall of Fame. Like the weird stuff, the shocking stuff tends to become just normal.
Sure. I would say that personally for me, scary movies are already a little bit hard now that I'm older. I used to be able to watch them a lot when I was younger. It was like a thing that I did with my friends.
You were like, I love it.
Yeah, I used to do a lot with my friends. Something has happened as I get older that I can't hang as much. It depends on the type of scary movie for sure. I like more like the suspense and the mystery, but I like scary movies that are just scary movies meant to torture people are like not my thing. So like the Human Centipede, it's just not about it. The Saw movies, it's just not great for me. Wax Museum, Wax
House of Wax with Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I
where
did see all of that.
Some of these wax figures are real people under wax.
Yeah, and that's like creepy and scary and like.
What's the last pseudo scary movie that you saw and enjoyed? For me, I think it was Split.
It's funny as I was going to be like, I feel like Split was like the last scary movie I saw, which feels like a lifetime ago.
It was a long time ago.
But probably, I guess that movie, I'm like really trying hard to think about if we've watched something since then. We tend to watch more documentaries, which I think can be scary at times.
Hang around for our Chimp Crazy review at the end of this.
But I can tell that I just, especially having a daughter now and you travel a lot on the road, like I just know myself more now as an adult and I don't need to have those things in my mind of like what could happen or maybe what in my head, like I just feel better not doing that. Although I do watch things like Castle and Bones where they have serial killers and things like that in there, but at least there's like an ending, it's not like a whole movie and I know the characters and they're safe. They're safe characters for me.
And all that stuff was made for cable television. So
yeah,
it's
for sure.
not going to be Human Centipede-ish.
Yeah. And also I think as like the world has gotten crazier, I go like, why do we put these ideas out there of things that people could actually do and try?
Yeah,
like,
you
why
always
do we
say that.
Why do we come up with the ideas for them?
I don't know.
But it's a little bit true.
Yeah, I thought about that. I think I may have said that on the last episode for something. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Split,
By the way, I'd never poison you. I wouldn't poison you in your drink. I feel weird about having said that, joked about that earlier in the episode.
I know you wouldn't, so.
That's good. Hey, can you read the next unpopular opinion for me? Just read it from there. It's right at the top. Just want to hear you say it.
No.
This is your show.
Unpopular opinion.
Kelly's opinion.
Christmas is the best holiday.
No, Christmas is the worst holiday.
Okay, why do people say that?
They say it because it's commercialized, it's stressful, sets unrealistic expectations, it's bad for the environment, has nothing to do with its original meaning, and expands strong materialistic ideologies.
Don't celebrate it then. I don't know what to tell you.
You're like, valid points, but back off.
SP found a photo that he showed me the other day.
Oh, no.
It was Brooklyn standing in front of a Christmas tree with a bunch of Christmas presents underneath it.
Okay.
And he's like, look at this.
No. We have to really set this.
I didn't realize the piece of it till the end. So I will say that. But I'm saying, like, he was like, Kelly, look at this picture. This was a couple days ago. He shows me the picture. I'm telling you, it's Brooklyn dressed in her PJs.
If you didn't know, it would look like Christmas morning.
It looks like Christmas morning.
Gifts.
There's wrapped gifts under, like, fully, like, it's like Christmas in our house. And if you don't know me, I love Christmas. And Brooklyn loves Christmas, too. I start decorating for Christmas right before Thanksgiving. Maybe after, but as early as you'll let me, which is normally like November. Actually, I think it's after Halloween. After Halloween, I'm like, it's Christmas season. We're decorating for Christmas. We're doing it. But he shows me this photo and he was like, Kelly, look at this photo. What's wrong with it or something like that? And I was like, Brooklyn's there. The Christmas tree looks beautiful. Like there's presents under the tree. Like it looks great. The date of this, November 1st.
Yeah,
I
something
had
like that.
bought and wrapped all of the Christmas presents underneath the tree.
It was
fully
psycho
decorated.
status.
It was crazy.
I think it was the 4th or the 8th or something, but still, it was like, it looked like Christmas morning, but we were a legit just about 2 months away from the holiday.
I love Christmas. But it works in my favor sometimes because Christmas season can get busy for me.
That's
and
true.
I'm a planner and I really do like to have Christmas presents. I like it to feel like it's Christmas for as long as it can. And it just doesn't feel like Christmas if there's no wrapped presents under the tree.
Yeah, you've really won me over on, I said this to you the other day. I was like, there's hardly anything that I came into our relationship disliking and you've liked that you haven't won me over for, with the exception of Taylor Swift. And Christmas is one of them. I really don't care about Christmas. I care about it because I want people in my life. Well, like I want it to be great for Brooklyn, essentially.
Yeah.
And great for you because it's important to you. But I don't care about Christmas. Like I don't have a list of things I want. Nothing. But I think during 2020, this was eye-opening as well. Like there was a little bit of magic in Christmas in the midst of 2020 of the chaos of the world. And that was in 2022, I think, the photo we're talking about, possibly. Might have been 2021. But Kelly's so into Christmas.
It's so fun.
We did Christmas in July once too.
That was during 2020.
It was either 2020 or 2021.
21,
I think
yeah, something like that. I think it was
one of those.
2021.
It was in a pandemic year.
It was hard, yeah. It was a hard year.
But we did a full Christmas.
Yeah.
Like as if it was Christmas in
For
July.
Brooklyn. She had a blast.
And she was like, is it July yet? Next year?
And we were like, we're not doing it again.
Like, what?
It's just the one.
She already has multiple Christmases, but she wanted one in the summer too.
I know. But yeah, I'm glad. I think you enjoy some of the holiday things that we do.
Yeah.
And I've really changed up what we used to do. Like I used to always, I love going to see Christmas lights. It's one of my favorite things, but it has to be in like the perfect mood. And I know it's so annoying. Like I don't like being in the car. I like walking with a hot chocolate in my hand, but we don't do that every year, but it is fun. And it's fun to watch Brooklyn do that. And the Christmas movies and
Oh my gosh. The
hot
Christmas
cocoa.
movies. Kelly single-handedly keeping that industry alive.
yes. And I work with Hallmark a lot now, and I'm really hopeful that I'll do something for Christmas with them.
You almost did a Christmas in July event with them,
I
but
know.
it turned into a different event that you still did with them.
The launch party, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just hopeful because I love Christmas, and Hallmark makes good Christmas movies. That's the type of Christmas movies that I like. Christmas movies that I
They're
like.
very specific type of film.
Yeah, and that's okay. You can guess what's going to happen, but you still enjoy it.
It's true. It's true. One more unpop a pin before we get out of here.
Okay.
And this one is a little bit silly. I always like to end on a not serious one, although none of them is really serious this week, which is a nice change. Bigfoot is the most boring cryptid / conspiracy theory / paranormal thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
You think it's the most boring
'Kay.
conspiracy theory?
Loch Ness Monster?
Or Bigfoot?
Bigfoot.
Loch Ness Monster is better.
Aliens or Bigfoot?
Aliens are better.
What other conspiracies are there?
Well, Bermuda Triangle,
Yeah, Bermuda Triangle? Bigfoot.
Easter Bunny, Santa Claus,
Those things are holiday things, though. They're not like
Machu Picchu,
Machu Picchu's real.
Chichen Itza.
That's also real.
It's also what the Brits call grilled cheese.
Toasties, baby.
Oh, it would have been funnier if I could have got the joke off.
I know.
It's funny that you mentioned that because this is like literally what these people said. I was like, that's not fair. Well, Bigfoot's not the most exciting.
Isn't that the unpopular opinion that it's not the least
It is the
exciting?
least. And I disagreed.
What is the least exciting?
Look, you bring up a lot of good points, okay?
I'm just if you're gonna say it's not the least, then you have to at least be able to provide what you think the least exciting.
I don't
thing is.
disagree with that. But also,
So you don't have one. So that's what you're trying to kindly say.
I'm saying a lot of things
But
while I eat this microphone.
okay, go. You do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm listening. I'm gonna look something up.
I am a fan of Bigfoot. I think it's stupid, but I like the whimsy of thinking that there's weird creatures out there. Werewolf's more boring.
No.
Yeah. No. It turned from person
Vampire,
into wolf.
not less boring.
Okay, are you looking up
Yes.
Okay, then hit me with some. Here,
I'm not
as
there
you do
yet.
that, I will basically reiterate what you said, which is crazy. This person said, I don't know why there's people out there who dedicate their lives to researching and finding this thing. I can understand aliens or ghosts because those would fundamentally alter our entire perception of our universe and reality. I can understand Mothman, which I thought was a weird poll, by the way. Mothman because bugs are scary and he causes major disasters that could actually hurt you personally. I can understand the Bermuda Triangle because the lack of real answers and details means you can project all kinds of crazy possibilities onto it. But like, who cares if there's essentially a big gorilla thing in the woods somewhere?
We already have big gorillas.
Did you write this?
No, but I could have.
We've already got a bunch of big scary apes living in various forests across the world. What's one more really going to add to the experience?
It's like having a polar bear versus a bear.
If you've seen one orangutan, you've pretty much already gotten the Bigfoot experience. Just go to the damn zoo, brah.
Yeah. Dragons.
Better than Bigfoot.
Mermaids.
Like the way that sailors talk about them, like as vicious creatures that lure sailors into the night and then kill them. Because that's cooler.
It doesn't matter whatever you think a mermaid is.
But like Little Mermaid, not cooler than Bigfoot.
I think it's cooler. A person that can live underwater and swim and have a tail and
Here's
breathe.
the deal. I know that mermaids don't exist.
Do you?
Yeah.
They could live in the deep, dark.
They don't.
You don't know.
They don't though.
But
Because they would have to have been seen by a sailor.
Hear me. There have been reports of them. Hear me when I say this. The ocean is like space, filled with a bunch of aliens that we've never met.
I could not agree more. No
So
notes.
you don't know. However, the majority of the land on the planet Earth has been explored.
Disagree.
Giants.
Giants aren't real.
But is a Yeti real? A Bigfoot real?
Wait, are you saying Yeti like the abominable snowman Yeti?
Oh, you're talking about Bigfoot's, I guess, different than a Yeti. But they're like the same thing to me because they're...
No, they're not. Haven't you seen Monsters, Inc.?
Just like a...
Wait, when you see a Yeti cooler, you're like, that's a Bigfoot cooler. No.
I know they're not the same thing, but I do put them together because they're both
they're
large.
Variants.
Yeah, they're very like one is like the snow variant, one is like the forest variant, you know. But giants, are they better or worse?
They're not real.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about conspiracy theories and if Bigfoot is the worst one. So Bigfoot or giants?
I didn't know I was going to be put on trial.
Bigfoot or giants?
Giants are better.
Yeah. What's the big
Megalodon?
shark? Yeah.
Cooler than Bigfoot. And actually likely to have been real in the dinosaur days, according to my brain. So science. Science.
Science.
You got any others?
No. I'm sure there are, but those were a lot of them.
Fairies? Elves?
All
gnomes.
cooler.
Cooler than gnomes.
What's a gnome other than the statue you put on top of your outside of your house?
What is pain if not grief persevering? Look, I'll give it to you.
I think Bigfoot,
I was wrong.
I mean, we have humans that are like 7 feet tall. It's not
But
big.
I would call them giants, but
I'm
not
just-
real giants.
But like, isn't that what we're saying Bigfoot is? Just a really tall man?
no, he's a beast. He's like a giant bear thing that walks on 2 feet and is always a little bit blurry.
And a werewolf would
I'm
kill
sorry.
that.
A what?
A werewolf
There it is.
would kill
Let's put the L in that
Bigfoot.
word, huh? Let's put the L
a
right in
werewolf.
wolf.
You know, Brooklyn says wolf the same way I do.
Wolf?
Yeah. I was watching her say it all week as we built that Minecraft Lego.
How's a British person
my
say
wolf.
it?
Oh, look at that little wolf. Is that little wolf over there?
Does that
I'll
get you
probably
in the
say
mind
it
space?
like a little British person. No, I just
you have to go, oh!
no, I don't always do that when I talk in a British accent, but a little wolf.
Tell me
the
again
wolf.
about it.
A wolf.
Oh, look, it's a little wolf.
No, there's a wolf over there. That sounds like Hermione. Ron, no, you can't.
Not me. Not Hermione.
You.
A werewolf. Oh my gosh.
right.
Well, before you choke and die over there,
Yeah.
which don't, not at least until September 25th. Did we talk about that?
24th and no.
I was saying you can die the day after.
Oh.
Well, we'll save it for next week.
I guess so. We just say for the week that it's supposed to happen.
Oh, that's a good point. You should write this show more often.
Yep. Now is the time that we would normally tell you bye.
But we do have bonus content
If
for
you'd
you.
like to listen and hear about crazy
Chimp
crazy.
crazy chimp, whatever it is.
Now's the time for you to hang around and listen to that.
That's right. Right after the music goes, like a normal episode, you'll hear that part of it as well. But anything you're looking forward to this week? You got big gigs coming up.
A 3-day gig coming up here.
And I've got therapy.
And the dentist. And a meeting for you, not for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to, I guess, getting out to Montecito and being by the ocean and hanging out with Mark this week. Not my dad, my friend Mark.
It's going to be cool for you.
And then building my Lego
Oh.
that Simone got me.
Describe it for the people who only listen.
She got me the Plum Blossom Botanical Collection
You
Lego.
also say that word odd. Did you know that?
Plum Blossom
Nope, none of those words.
Botanical
Yeah.
Collection.
Yeah.
How do you say botanical?
Botanical.
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 It's not a butt. It's botanical.
Botanico.
It's a part of their new collection of flowers that has a vase or vase, however you want to say it, attached to it.
We got to get out of here. We're never going to make it.
They are so cool. They also have a chrysanthemum that I already built. Now I have this one. They're so cool. They're small in size, like 24 inches tall. Is that right? That's 2 feet. That wouldn't be
That's
right.
way too tall.
It's
You imagine having a
15.5
plant?
inches. I was totally wrong. Inches tall. It is like so cute. It's so perfect. The little vase is perfect. It's everything I want it to be because the flowers always come with nothing in them. And then what do you do with them? Put them in a real vase? I guess you can. I haven't.
Sounds like
now
a good
this
idea.
one I have this one here and I'm really, really, really excited about it. Thanks, Jim.
Love ya. Well, that's it.
What are you looking forward to?
This week's episode. You know, I'm kind of tagging along with your life this week. I've got my therapy. I'm going to get my night guards. So I'll have some night guards for my teeth because I learned.
You grind them.
No, I don't.
You bite
I
them.
clench.
Ouch.
Ouch, indeed. Not any longer because I'll have
A night guard.
a night guard
And you'll
for my
sound like
teeth.
me at nighttime as I have my retainers
Just
in.
two nerds in a pod. Oh my gosh. No, so my week is busy. It truly, if you made it this far, first of all, thank you. Love you so much. This summer has been insane. Way too much work, way too many things we're doing. Last summer made it on my top 10 list and my top knots.
Not this year.
Not this year, bro. In fact, look, if there's going to be lots of good things to talk about, I hope you stick around for Hardly Holidays, where we'll also do our top knots like we do every year, our top 10 moments and bottom 10 moments of the year. It feels like this year has a lot of distinct bottom moments for me that I can think of. I'm just hoping we can think through it. I'm just thinking of like March to June, like just there. It's a tumultuous few months, but I'm sure there's great moments for the top. All that to say, last year it was my favorite summer, maybe of my life. Like I had so much fun with you and with Brooklyn, and it was so stress free. This summer was
Not that.
I wouldn't say it was the
It wasn't
opposite, but
stressful, but it just wasn't as fun.
it was too full. That's what
Yeah,
it
that's good
was.
to say.
Too full. So it's been weird. We're leaving summer now, getting ready for the fall. Kelly has already made her first chocolate chip pumpkin bread of the season.
I did, which Brooklyn freaked out about. It's her favorite. She was so excited.
Yep. Even though it's still 200 degrees out in Los Angeles.
It's time for pumpkin bread.
We're committed to the fall already. But yeah, so in terms of things I'm looking forward to, kind of just riding your coattails on this one. We have a big weekend, like you mentioned this weekend. We have an equally big, if not maybe bigger weekend the following weekend.
Yeah.
Which is crazy with the amount of events we're doing on one day. I think it comes out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
When you split it up, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little stressful.
Between the two of us, yeah.
I'm looking forward to talking to my therapist. At this point, I should probably just send her the link to this episode and be like,
Listen.
you want to know? Here it is. But so much more. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to being with you at your gig, even though your gigs give me so much anxiety. So much anxiety.
Not always.
If I'm on them, they do. This Minnesota gig turned out incredible.
It was
But
stressful
boy,
leading up for both of us.
It was
though.
just a marathon. You had to sprint an entire marathon to get there. It was a lot. So I'm looking forward to, it's so sad to say, probably won't be until like October that we get some real time just to take it easy and chill for a minute. But I know it's going to be a good week. I know your gigs coming up are going to be good. I'm glad we get to do them together. We got big gigs coming up the next week. And we're just going to keep on keeping on. We're going to be working hard and shooting, hardly working, but that's all that's really on my plate for right now. That and being intentional with the house. Because once we got back in there before we thought we would, it's been kind of slow movement.
So we'll get there.
We'll get there.
All right. Thanks for sharing all those things.
You're welcome.
Stick around if you want to hear about Chimp Crazy.
That's right.
And if not,
we'll see you next week.
And we hope you spend most of your time
Hardly
hardly
working.
working. Bye.
Sorry, bye. 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 Chimp Crazy. That is what it's called. This show is human crazy. It's insane.
I mean, Tiger King was this way too. Let's be clear. It is from the same director as Tiger King, but he had to get a
different director because that
shadow director.
Yeah, the whole big cat and animal, whatever, like wild animal, but own it in your home world, wouldn't talk to him.
Won't talk to him because they saw what happened with Tiger King and how they were painted in a bad light. Not because he painted them that way, but because they painted themselves that way. So yeah, but it's crazy. I don't even know how to describe it. You should definitely go and watch it. It's happening. They're dropping a new episode every week. So we're probably just about ready for a new episode to drop this week.
We're only 2 episodes in right now.
The second episode was really intense.
It was really
you hear
scary.
like one of the live 911 calls from when a chimpanzee is attacking someone, and that is kind of
so let
freaky.
me kind of set the table here a little bit. If you weren't around in the 80s or 90s, you may have missed so many TV shows and so many films that utilized monkeys as actors. They would train these chimps to do
and not
things.
just chimps, just monkeys. Friends had it. Friends had the little monkey that would go around with Ross, you know?
Yes. I don't believe it's illegal to do that now, but pretty much no, especially for a movie that has a budget, you're not going to have a real animal acting anymore.
No.
Like you're not going to have a monkey smoking cigarettes because that monkey learns that behavior and then will be very angry unless it gets cigarettes for the rest of its life.
Yeah.
That happened on a Kevin Smith movie, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, I think.
Oh, they taught him how to smoke cigarettes.
And he would not stop harassing humans for cigarettes. That's what happens. Imagine like a parrot that learns how to say something and then never shuts up.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Anyway, so that was a weird and wild time. What we learned was these chimps can do that type of work for a certain amount of years at the beginning of their life, but once they get to about 6 or 7, they cannot be domesticated anymore.
Yeah.
Like they really were a part of these people's families.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Well, this is all spoiler talk, so I won't say that. There was one point where there was one chimp that this woman was raising that was born premature, and its mom either died or couldn't like nurse it to health. So this woman had a newborn baby on one breast nursing and a baby chimpanzee on the other breast nursing for her at the same time. These people are like raising their children at the same time.
Yeah.
We haven't heard about anyone sleeping or doing anything like that with a chimp
Thank
yet,
God.
but we're pretty sure it's coming.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're like docile-ish for the first 6 to 7 years.
And I think
and then they become like feral. Like they can do some things, but can't be trusted, which leads us to what you were talking about. The second episode.
It's intense. I don't know how much we should get into it, but basically he gets out of his cage and he gets in trouble. He's not allowed to be out in public anymore because I think
he had a stroke at one point too. So
his dad died. Not
the
his
monkey's dad?
Not the monkey dad, but the human dad died of a stroke, remember, and never came back.
After that guy had his nose and part of his face.
Different guy. But this guy, he died, and then the monkey kind of was sad and kind of went crazy, and that's really when this whole story begins. But if you go fast forward a couple of years, he's not allowed to leave the house anymore. He has to stay at home in a cage. He gets out of his cage one day and he attacks his babysitter.
Yeah.
And that is a 911 call that we hear from the owner being like, my chimp is going to kill my friend. Is killing my friend. And you can go and watch it. But just beware. I don't want to say
intense.
Yeah, but it was an intense.
To hear the call. This isn't like a dramatization. No, this is the actual 911 call of this woman crying into the phone with the police operator going, "He's killing my friend." Who is my chimpanzee? He's he's eating her face and ripping off her face and eating her body right now.
Yeah.
He ripped out her eyes and her nose and half of her jaw. And we're
trigger
like,
warning.
All of this is trigger warning.
That.
I'm saying it all because this is at the end of the show and people didn't have to listen if they didn't want to.
If you're interested, you should watch it. The first episode was not that intense, but it is just like Tiger King.
I hope the most intense parts have been gone through. But I mentioned this too. We were looking at this one guy who was like bringing the chimps to school. He was clearly like a part of the chimps' lives. And we're like, what is with this big scar in the center of his face, like on both sides of his nose? And that was the dude who apparently
got his nose bit off.
Went in and one of the older chimps like came and just bit the nose off of his face.
And they sewed it back on.
Went in and the nose actually looks pretty good, but there's some significant scars.
Yeah. This is, I guess, all I'll say about this. It is interesting because I really, and as much as you can enjoy something like Tiger King, I enjoyed watching Tiger King because I thought it was comedic. Tiger Joe, is that his name? Tiger King Joe?
Exotic.
Joe Exotic. Such a great character. I know he's a real person, but like such a great character.
Yeah.
The problem that I think is, or the thing that I think is interesting, and it's probably the problem, is that tigers, you can look at tigers and be like, that's like a big cat. It's still a pet. You know, it's a pet. And so you're going to be more careful with it. I'm curious to see where this goes because monkeys are so similar to humans that I can see the disconnect in these people's heads of like, they are a part of our family. They are that. It's because, well, they act kind of like humans when they're little. When they're little babies, they can't talk just like babies can't talk. They crawl, they learn how to walk, they do all the same things. It's not
they
like... They
dress themselves in human clothes.
Yeah, they can do stuff. It's not like having a tiger that like, you're like, that's a cat. And my cat's never going to like... I'm never going to breastfeed my cat.
Yeah.
I'm never going to like, you know what I mean? Yeah, but my cat's never going to...
I bet that's happened.
I'm just saying. Do you know what I mean? It's a very different thing.
Very different.
And so I feel like they treated the tigers differently because they're like, they're tigers. They're animals. They're pets.
But you're
I still love them, but they're pets. But a monkey, I'm like that.
It's a fine line.
I'm watching them really look at these monkeys as like, no, they are a part of our family. It's like my brother, my sister, my whatever. I'm like, woo.
Yeah. No, truly.
It's crazy.
They're like, these people are like, there's no point of living if I don't have a chimp in my life.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's very, very
one
weird.
stole one. So we'll see where that story goes.
Well, you've made it to the end of the episode. You've already heard the end from before. So we'll just say that we love you.
Bye.
We mean it. Bye.
Bye.